Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Pringle, and I am the president of Gullah Business of Charleston. And I have here the vice president, Tiffany Savage.
Hello.
We have an exciting guest here today. Now, this person that we have today, she did our photo shoot, and those pictures, I love them. They're phenomenal. She's talented, she's really gifted, and I'm telling you, she had patience with us, and we felt like celebrities for the day. I even wrote about it in our blog because we just felt so special that day. I have here photographer Tamera Wharton.
Hello, good evening, ladies. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thank you so
Mm.
much for coming on. Like I said in the intro, she did our photos, our first photos for our brand, and they came out fantastic. I absolutely love them, and other people love them as well. So I wanted to get a little bit of your background. If you could tell your background story of how you got started, where you're from, your name. Just give us a bio of you real
Yes,
quick.
for sure. Thank you. So my name is Tamera Wharton. I am originally from the Caribbean. I'm from the small Twin Island state of Antigua and Barbuda, and I moved to Charleston back in 2016. So a backstory as to how I started my business, Tammy Photography. So I grew up in a household with a mom who really enjoyed capturing moments. She wasn't a photographer, but she really enjoyed just, keeping memories, and she was very photogenic. So growing up in that household, we would go to different photo studios. It didn't have to be a special occasion or anything of that sort, but we definitely were going to get photos taken. And I can remember there were some photos that I do have where it looked as if, well, I was just, getting out of bed, but it was not like that to my mom. So she really just, no matter what it was, we were going to get our photos taken. So I felt like I inherited that love for photography from my mom. But in 2012, I got my first point and shoot camera. And that was when I discovered the art of photography and fell in love with it. And I decided I was going to create a Facebook page to share like my work and what it is that I do. But when I created that Facebook page, I made a post saying, Tammy Photography, I just love taking photos of family and friends. And one day this business will grow into a success. Now, that was 2012. I had, would come back in and out, and I would say, thank you guys for following. I'll be back soon. And, just sharing that I still had interest in photography. But after a while, knowing that I didn't have like a professional camera and I didn't go to school for photography, it just didn't take off. I literally just had my Facebook page sitting, dormant. But the love that I have for photography or even getting my pictures taken was still there for sure. But in 2019, I went to visit my sister. And as I was getting ready to finish school, she was like, why don't you pick back up photography, but this time do it as like a side job or side hustle so that, you could get your feet standing on solid ground when you come out of college. And okay, your big sister, you're like, okay, yeah, no problem, big sister, so you're just saying whatever you want to say, like, yeah, sure. But in that moment, as I returned home, I kind of pondered on it, but I know I didn't have a professional camera once again, and I didn't go to school for photography. So I was like, ain't no way that I could pick up photography this time around and do it for as a business. That's what I thought in myself. But funny enough, 2020, my siblings actually gifted me my first professional camera for my birthday. And that was when I was like, okay, it's time. I need to start building my portfolio. I need to start practicing and things like that. Knowing that the photography industry and the scene in Charleston was very and is still, potent with a lot of talented photographers. So in myself, knowing that I didn't go to school for photography, I felt, that level of self-doubt that I wasn't able to do that. However, 2019, then into 2020, I remember making a vision board with my family. And on there, I said, I wanted to practice photography and learn photography a little more. And then towards the end of that year, I went to my niece's room and she had a painting of a girl, and it had a glasses and the word and 2020 written over it, similar to like those New Year's glasses. And as I was leaving her room, my eyes caught the picture and I heard God said, 2020 appears to be blocking your vision. Get up and run. So I'm here like, okay, God, what are you trying to say? I don't know what this means. So, he let me sit with it for a bit. And then I had to prepare a sermon during the pandemic, basically encouraging young adults to go after their gifts, seek out their passion and do what it is that God has called them to do. But in the process of me creating, or in the process of me preparing my sermon, God took me back to my Facebook page of that same post where I said, Tammy Photography, I just love taking photos and wanted this business will grow into a success. Now, I still didn't pay any mind to it, but towards the end of 2020, early 2021, I felt like there was something missing from my life and there was something I needed to get done, but I just didn't know what it was. And towards the end of February of 2021, I felt really moved and I prayed that Friday, and God profoundly told me that I was wasting time. I need to register my business and do everything that I need to do by the end of March and watch him work. Nothing is too hard for him to do. Don't despise small beginnings. And after coming out of prayer and hearing that, I knew for a fact that that was God speaking to me. And in no time, I created my own website. I registered my business, did everything that I needed to get done by March 1st. And he gave me until the end of March. So it was just really wasting time. And God just giving me that extra step and push and letting me know that I've called you to do this photography and it's time to make it official. And that's my story.
So, just touching on some other things too as well. What would you say your photography or your inspiration for your style that you use in photography?
For sure. So when I first started, I felt very intimidated. I must be honest about that, given that in the low country, it's the photography style in the low country is very coastal, bright, light, and airy. And I felt like I was just doing something totally different than what it was. Like, I thought I needed to fit in. And basically, as I started taking photos of my clients, I realized that I wanted pictures to be true to color and true to self. And I stuck with it, the pictures being bright, bold, and vibrant. And after a while, I kind of pondered. I was like, why do I choose bright, bold, and vibrant? And I believe someone pointed it out to me. They were like, that is your personality. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. So I would say the influence is basically it just had to be. And the fact that choosing bright, bold, and vibrant, it really tells who I am as a person. And that's where I would say my influence came from in regards to my photography style.
I was going to ask her what makes a photograph like stand out and be memorable.
For sure. So I think I should go to the beginning of how I get to a photo being memorable and stand out. So for me, I meet with all my clients. So I schedule a consultation call, whether it be through Zoom or a phone call. And I use that moment to really know my clients as a person and hear them out, so that way I know who it is that I'm working with. And with that, I'm able to pull out the different attributes and characteristics from my clients and take that information on shoot day. So when we show up on shoot day, it's not me trying to get to know you and figuring out what works best for you when it comes to posing and things like that. So once I do that, I then on the day of, we just flow. So I let my clients be themselves, and then I just capture the authentic moment. And I think that's what really make pictures stand out and become memorable, because you're being authentic and you're capturing it in your authentic sense.
And that's one thing I did like when we had that whole consultation. We had a call to set it up, everything, what we were going to wear, and have a consultation. It really did help ease the photo shoot. And just like Nicole said, it made us really feel comfortable. We felt like celebrities because you took your time, you had patience with us.
For
Um,
sure.
and so we do appreciate that. Do you feel like what other elements do you feel that makes your photo shoots powerful? Because the reason why we ask that, everyone has a different touch they put to anything that they have, that they put their hands towards. And clearly this is your gift. But what do you think sets your photographs or your photography sessions apart from the others?
For sure. So what I think sets my photography or even just my photos apart from others is that I capture the true essence of the individual. And most times when I do that, it's not just the physical that you're seeing of the person, you're really seeing like their soul. And I've been told previously, like, you don't just capture persons, you really see beyond who they are, and that beauty exudes through the photograph. So I think like that really sets me apart, in addition to the fact that when it comes to branding clients, one of the mandates or my purpose, it's really helping other people walk on purpose through my gifts and talents. And that's really what, when it comes to me doing photography, it's not just taking photos, but it's really helping persons elevate their lives and also see within themselves what they never saw before, basically.
So you say that. I have another question.
Yes.
What is one of your memorable photo shoots that you've done so far?
Honestly, I cannot pick one, to be honest. The reason being is because every single photo shoot or every single photo that I've taken has a different element to it. And in those elements, it shows me another dimension to my craft and my art. So I wouldn't say there's just one photo. I would say every single photo that I've taken, they all have they do have a meaningful impact, and I just can't pick one.
Wow. Because I would think like engagement photo shoots and stuff like that, like just watching two people, that love each other is about to get married, like, oh, like you want to make a tear or something.
Okay, so you're asking what's my favorite types of shoots to do then for that one.
Okay, yeah.
So
What's your
for
favorite
sure,
ones?
my favorite types of shoots, definitely couples. Just seeing them exude their love, capturing the love story, and just allowing them to be themselves. I definitely think I'm a lover girl when it comes to that. So with that, definitely taking couple photos are my favorite for sure.
I would definitely love to do those.
Yes.
Aw.
And I must say too, I
You gotta
must
get
say
yourself
too,
together, Nikki,
uh,
while you take it
yes,
up.
I was gonna say too, I think that when it comes to the couples photo shoot, I definitely do get like sometimes I may get teary eyed, or I can definitely feel the love inside, and my heart just flutters, and it's really a beautiful experience for sure.
Now that we're talking about challenges with photography, and one of them's not trying to get too caught up in the moment, which that would be hard for me to do
Yes,
because
for
I'll
sure.
be right there with them. But
Mhm.
what have been some other challenges since you started your business?
For sure. So, like I said, Charleston has a plethora of talented photographers, and you could definitely be easily, I guess, drowned out when it comes to the photography scene. So, for me, I would say when I first started, capturing leads was a big, if you want to say, downside or a big stumbling block for me, given that I was fresh out. I tried to seek mentorship, but it just was not the right fit. And not to even go sidetrack, it wasn't the right fit because in those moments, that was when God actually reaffirmed and confirmed, the talent that he has given me is not just a talent. This is definitely my God-given talent. So, and my God-given gift. So for sure, just letting God mentoring me in those primitive years of my business or primitive months was very important. But as it pertains to the lead capturing, getting actual clients, I had to utilize third-party platforms such as Thumbtack and Bart. But in that, it became very, very expensive. So operating expense was really high. Advertising expenses were really high. So I use that to leverage my presence. And then once I did that, after a while, I had to become comfortable with venturing off and seeking other means of marketing and promoting myself. So I had to, print business cards. Whenever I go out, I would leave my business cards at different businesses, or I would give other persons. I also joined Facebook groups and things like that so that I could network with other business owners and also promoting my work. So I say definitely getting clients was one of the biggest issues that I faced, and then just having the courage to seek different ways to combat that was,
We were talking before we hit record. We were talking about when you're doing your photo shoot and how important you're taking photos of your merch. And I said, you did a phenomenal job with our cup. I'm that girl. And how important is it for brands that have merchandise that they want to bring to the photo shoot? How important is that for their brand?
So brand photography is it's basically the front of your book. So they say, don't judge a book by its cover, but having brand photography for your merch is very important, because brand photography is not just capturing the actual product, but it also utilizes storytelling. So if you do have a product or merch, you definitely have to seek a brand photographer that is not just going to just capture the merch as it is, but finding the intricate, I guess, the intricate portions of the merch and actually capturing that in its essence so that it can help to tell a story. And also it encourages your consumers to purchase your merch.
Because I love the fact that you helped us with that, to brand that.
For sure.
And another exciting fact is that we didn't know we were going to have another brand color.
That part, you see, for sure. And that ties into
it out. So, and it was the funniest thing for me and Nicole, because at the time we only had our brand colors were black, white, and gold. And so it was so funny when we went into this hotel that was nice enough to host us there and take the photographs there. We went in and they had red. And it was funny because it was like that was our grandmother's color. And all my aunts, I'm not sure if my aunt or Retta likes red. I know majority of them, they love red. But me and Nikki are not fans of red. So it's like, but it just all blended. It all blended. So it was the irony of the situation. It was like, my grandma's here. That's what it is.
I definitely remember that. I was like, y'all are missing a color from your brand. And I was like,
that pop of red.
That red.
We had, and the funny thing, we had red lipstick on that day, and we both didn't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the pictures, I mean, it's phenomenal. And then it didn't look like we didn't like it, because the pictures came out so great, and the colors were in the hotel, so it all lined up. It was crazy how that was.
For sure. And that's just even one of the important things when it comes to really having consultation calls, but also really getting to know your clients in and out. Because with that, you're able to flow when it comes to making suggestions or pulling out, like I said earlier, being able to pull out things out of my clients that they didn't see before in themselves, or they didn't see in general. That is one of the things that I really think is really important as a photographer, or even any business owner, being detail oriented and attentive, so that you're able to wherever there's a blind spot for your clients, you're able to step in and fill that gap for sure.
Exactly, exactly. Because I'm like, wow, we came up with the colors. So you never
Yeah.
know. You
For
never know.
sure.
I have a question. Since you've been in this industry, what words of I guess advice or inspiration would you give to someone that is thinking about becoming a photographer?
For sure. I would say definitely give yourself grace in the starting periods because you are going to feel very, very incapable of what you're doing. As confident as you may be in your actual craft, there will be moments where you're gonna feel like you're just not doing your best. Whenever you see other photographers or whatever they're doing, you kind of compare yourself. So you definitely want to take it easy on yourself and give yourself grace, knowing that you starting at maybe at 1 year and you're comparing yourself to someone else that is at a 10-year mark for sure. Another thing I would say is being open-minded and receptive to feedback. So if you are beginning taking on clients, know exactly what it is that you want to offer to your clients, but also being open-minded and receptive to feedback that you can actually either improve your service, you can build upon your offerings, and just also giving yourself the opportunity to grow and not stay stagnant. And then I guess another thing I could say is know that whatever it is that you do or the way in which you take your photos adds value to the industry. So no one person is going to have the same style. Even though their photos look similar, they're going to be different. So being okay with being unique and different, because that really sets you apart and you're also being true to who you really are. And I would say one last thing would be to ensure that you're also researching the type of photography or the type of industry that you want to go into, so that you're not only just having your talent, but you're pairing your talent with knowledge. So those are my tips for aspiring photographers.
You know, I'm going to have to ask this, but it's all based on your comfort level. What projects are you currently working on, or what projects do you hope to work on very soon?
Yeah, so I think as it pertains to projects, for sure, in the upcoming year. So in January, I usually do what is called a headshot refresh special where, persons could retouch their headshots or even get new headshots taken because headshots are very important and you never know when you may need one. So definitely my headshot refresh special in January. And then in spring, mini sessions in spring as well, and in addition to mini brand photo shoots in spring as well. So you could spring into the new year with new brand photos. You spring into the new year with headshots, and I would say those are the projects that I'm thinking of at this time.
And this
Nice.
is our elevator pitch question.
Ah.
What 3 words would you use that describe you as a photographer and why?
Ah, the why. So I would say attentive, innovative, and bold. Reasons why is for me, I pay attention to details. So any little frills, anything that is out of place, I will definitely see that because I want to ensure that we get things right in camera versus having to do it post shoot. And for me, I am very bold. That's my personality. So carrying that same energy into my photo shoots, it really helps my clients to feel comfortable and also be themselves. And as it pertains to being innovative, we live in a society that is always changing as it pertains to technology and also just the way of doing things. So with me, I'm very innovative. I come up with solutions to problems or even just seeking out different ways to market myself and my business so that I could always stay relevant, basically.
And so finally, I have to ask this, if anyone that's watching this, how would they be able to learn more about your services and be able to contact you?
Thank you for asking that, Tiffany. So if you want to get in contact with me or work along with me, I am available in the Charleston area and also available for travel. You can find me on social media by Tammy_photography with 2 Y's at the end, and that's TAMI_photography with an extra Y at the end. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You could search on Google and you could find different articles about myself, including my website. So you definitely could find me anywhere you want to look. You definitely could find me.
Thank you again. We appreciate everything that you did for us during our photo shoot, for the brand photos, and even for like pointing us to another color that we need to phone out. So we appreciate everything that you do in your professionalism.
Thank you, ladies, so much. And, I just want to encourage you guys to keep pushing, keep doing what it is that you guys have on your heart to do, and know that your work is not in vain. And I definitely appreciate this opportunity to not just speak with you ladies, but even being, clients of mine, or as I refer to my clients, my TP fam, having this opportunity is, I would like to thank you guys for, seeing it fit to interview me, and just know that I'm supporting you guys and I'm really proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you so much. And to everyone that's watching, we'll have all her information listed below. Make sure to follow her, and also make sure to like, share, and tag, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interviews. Thank you all for watching.